you move. Keep the position. In order to move, keep this stance mobile, what you will do is if you are moving to your left, you're going to push off with your right foot. When I say push off with your right foot, it means you're going to push your right foot and move your hip. What we do as a function, the human body naturally wants to move with our shoulders. What that does is it creates too much momentum. You'll move and then you find yourself catching your balance. Okay, so you actually lose the opportunity to fight by catching your balance that half second. If your opponent is standing in a standard position and he's balanced, while you're catching your balance, you're going to be catching whatever else he wants you. Because you can't fight for that point. So when you move, when you push, you want to be conscious of moving your hip. So you come right back down to your true boxer stance, as opposed to moving your shoulders and catching yourself. Okay? So moving to the left, you're going to push off with your right foot, come back into the true boxer stance. Moving to the right, push off with your left foot, come back to the true boxer stance. Forward, moving with your rear foot. Backwards, moving with your front foot. Okay, so now if you have your opponent in front of you and he moves, you move keeping your true boxer stance on your opponent. Here. He comes this way, you're coming back this way. Pushing off here, you're coming here. Not swinging out. That is the most common mistake that people make. And a lot of times, when I test the fighter, if we're going to spar, we're going to fight, I'm testing his front foot. I'm coming right here. And make him turn out, and he comes right open. It's an open shot. Once he comes here this way, he's going to come out, he's going to bring that foot. Now, if I step over here, I'm giving him the same look. So when I see him make that mistake, I come here, push off with this foot, and step right into position. But what we'll do is you'll be a focal point for your opponent. And you'll circle. You'll circle. Hide that foot. There you go. So as he moves, you circle. There you go. And give him a look to adjust on. Then you switch. Now get into the position, and he'll move. And you move on him. And just keep true boxing stance on your opponent. And you'll go back and forth. You'll understand, it's going to be a little awkward at first. You're like, wait a minute. Because by walking, we naturally, when we walk or we move anywhere, we switch leads. We walk left foot, left foot. Now I'm telling you, keep your left foot forward or keep your right foot forward, depending on whether you're left-handed or right-handed. And I'm going to say, now I want you to move as comfortably as you always have, but don't switch leads. So it's going to take a bit for it to really sink into how you're supposed to do it. But when you generate the power and you actually focus on keeping your balance in your hips as opposed to your shoulders, it's a lot easier. The minute you start throwing your shoulders in, that's when you start trying to catch your balance. When you punch, when you stand in here, now keep your jab. Move, keep your jab. Keep your jab. Come back this way. Come back this way. Shoot your jab. Shoot your jab. You understand? So, when you keep this balance here, you have this the whole time. When you start this, you don't have it until you stop. When you stop, you can punch. But when you're sitting in here, you keep this stance, it doesn't matter where your opponent goes, you can fire. If he steps over in front of your right hand and get away from your jab, you just sit down on it. You know, it's like a compass. It's like a compass. If this guy moves to center point, then my radius changes. And that's the thing. So when I move in here, I got to keep my distance as well as my position. So if I'm sitting in here and he moves forward, I don't stay on that same radius. Push off here, and I get a whole new radius. I'm right back where I started. It doesn't matter whether you come forward or backwards to counter my jab. I still have the movement that I need to create the spacing that I need. You understand?